Hey, what's up, mortgage brokers and loan officers? Shashank here. Welcome back to the video again. And I'm assuming that you're all doing well. So, yeah, let's just get straight to the topic. So, today I want to talk about something that I've been seeing a lot in this industry lately because I was on a call with one of our mortgage brokers clients last week, and they were telling me like how they have been grinding away with the same old legion tactics that everyone's been using for years, and honestly they were just burned out because the cost per lead was like through the roof, and the conversion rates, yes, of course, not that great. And it got me thinking, like, what, there are some serious powerful strategies that most loan officers are completely missing out on in 2025. So today I'm going to break down 6 lead generation approaches that like almost nobody in the mortgage space is taking advantage of right now. So before we dive in though, if you're getting value from these kind of videos, do me a quick favor, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. We post new content every week to help mortgage pros like you close more deals. All right? Yeah, let's get into it. So the first strategy that is being overlooked here is what I call a hyper local video SEO. Look, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Everyone's been doing basic SEO, right? But here's the thing: Google's algorithm in 2025 is prioritizing video content for local searches in a way like that's just well kind of insane. So yeah, what we have been doing with our clients is creating super specific neighborhood focused videos. Like I'm talking about like buying a home in specific neighborhood, or like first time home buyers program in specific zip codes. Let me just give you a real life example of how this works. So we had this client in Phoenix who was focused on Arcadia neighborhood. So instead of making generic mortgage videos, we helped him create videos on titles like Arcadia Phoenix home loans 2025 jumbo mortgage options, or like how to finance a fixer upper in like Arcadia renovation loan guide on these titles. Okay. And what makes this so effective is the specificity. When someone searches for mortgage options in Arcadia Phoenix, and you have made a exact video with like almost exact title, you shoot up to the top of the results. Plus, these neighborhood videos don't need millions of views to be successful. They just need to reach the right people, the right audience, the right buyers who are actively looking to purchase in those specific areas. And the coolest part here is our Phoenix client told us like they had a prospect literally say, "I found your video about Arcadia mortgages and I'm looking to buy there next month." And that prospect closed on a $1.2 million home 6 weeks later. That's the power of hyper local video SEO. And here's why this works so damn well, because when someone searches for something like, let's suppose, say, mortgage options in Highland Park, and you have made a video specifically about Highland Park, guess who is showing up at the top of the results? It's you. And in just about 6 weeks, our clients were getting like 3 to 4 qualified leads per week just from these neighborhood specific videos. And these weren't just any leads. They were people deep in the buying process who were like specifically looking in those neighborhoods. But yeah, the key is the consistency though, because you gotta pick your top 10 target neighborhoods and make sure you are covering all the relevant mortgage topics for each one. All right, the strategy number 2 here is what I call realtor partnership pods. So, like everyone knows, you should partner with realtors, right? Oh, that's mortgage marketing 101. But here's what most loan officers are not doing. Instead of trying to network with individual agents, think about creating what I call partnership pods. Basically, it is like a small group of complementary professionals who consistently create content together. And here's how it works: you team up with a realtor, a home inspector, or maybe an insurance agent and an attorney, and then you commit to creating collaborative content on a regular schedule. The magic here is in the cross promotion. When all 5 professionals share the content with their audiences, you are reaching people you would never connect with otherwise. And I was like talking to one of a loan officer in Florida on LinkedIn. Like he started monthly marketing update show with their pod, and within 3 months they were like getting 9 to 12 solid referrals per month from their expanded network. And here's the thing: most loan officers are still doing that one-off coffee meeting with realtors, hoping for referrals. This pod approach is way more systematic and honestly just works better in today's market. For example, like you could start a simple monthly Zoom call where each person shares a quick market update from their perspective. The realtor talks about the inventory trends, you cover the rate changes, the home inspector discusses common issue they're seeing in the area, and so on. Record it, chop it up for social media, and suddenly everyone's getting exposure to 4 other professional networks. It's honestly a game changer when done right. So the strategy number 3 is what I call retargeting with intent data. And this one's a bit technical, but yeah, super powerful. So most mortgage pros are doing, some kind of retargeting, right? If someone visits your website and then they see your ads around the internet, basic stuff. But what most loan officers are not doing here is layering intent data on the top of their retargeting campaign. There are like these third party data provider right now, companies like Bombora, Zoominfo, any other company, like any other website, you can just search according to your need, that can tell you when individuals are showing buying signals for mortgage related topics. So instead of just retargeting everyone who visited your site, you're specifically targeting people who are actively researching mortgage options right now. And yeah, it's a bit of an investment here, but from what I have seen, the ROI is just insane. If you're already spending money on the ads, this approach basically supercharges what you're already doing by focusing on people actually in the market right now. And here comes the strategy number 4, which is voice search optimization. Look, I'm going to throw an interesting stat at you that blew my mind, which is according to recent data, about 40% of the adults are now using voice searches daily. And in the mortgage space, almost nobody is optimizing for it. Voice searches are very much different from type searches in a really, really, really important way. They're longer, more conversational, and usually phrased as a question. So the smart approach here is creating FAQ content that's specifically formatted to match the voice searches patterns. For example, like instead of optimizing for mortgage rates Chicago, you optimize for what are the current mortgage rates in Chicago for a 30-year-old fixed loan. I hope you're getting me. So let me just give you a real life example for this. My friend's uncle is a mortgage broker and he started creating this voice search optimized content. And within 3 months, like within almost like less than 3 months, he saw for a 43% increase in organic traffic, and the quality of the traffic was much 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 higher, as these people were like asking specific questions about the mortgages and not like they were not like just browsing there. And the cool thing here is this strategy is still so under the radar that there's very little competition right now. So if you start now, you'll be way ahead of the curve. And like you could like start by just looking at your Google search console data, like for any questions people are already asking, then create a content specifically answering those questions in a conversational way, or like even adding a simple FAQ section to your website with these voice optimized questions can make a huge difference. You should give it a try, and this can be a game changer for you for sure. And yes, strategy number 5, community driven workshops. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, workshops are in new, Shashank, we know that. And you're right, of course, but the approach that I'm talking about is completely different from what most mortgage pros are doing. And I'm talking about like instead of hosting general home buying seminars, think about creating ultra specific workshops that addresses real community needs. Like I heard this about a loan officer in an area with a large immigrant population. So she started running workshops specifically on building credit for first generation home buyers. And another mortgage pro in an high cost market created workshops on like creating down payment strategies for teachers and first responders. And the key difference is that these workshops aren't just, thinly veiled sales pitches. They're genuinely helpful resources tailored to specific community needs. And the results speak for themselves, of course. These targeted workshops typically see attendance rates 3-4 times higher than general home buying seminars. And because you're positioning yourself as someone who understands the specific challenges of that community, the trust factor is through the roof. And like you could start by identifying a specific pain point in your community. Maybe like it's first time responders struggling to afford homes, or maybe it's like it's self-employed borrowers confused about documentations or requirements, or any pain point that you like noticing in a specific community. Build a workshop specifically addressing their unique situations, and you'll like stand out of the every other mortgage pro running generic how to buy presentations. And finally, the strategy number 6, which is my personal favorite, and this is the strategy that we implement for our clients personally, done for you, because it adds a direct ROI and you immediately start seeing results. So, the strategy number 6 is what I call integrated qualification funnel. Most of the loan officers running paid ads are making a huge, huge, huge mistake. And what they're doing is they are sending cold traffic straight to a basic lead form and then wondering why their conversion rate sucks. I mean, like, why it should not? It should be. Because what top performers and we are implementing is creating this seamless integration between their ads, landing pages, and the follow up systems. It's basically a full qualification machine. And here's how it works. Instead of us using a simple lead form, we are creating what I call a long form qualification sequence on the landing page. This might be like a 5 to 7 question interactive form that ask about their timeline, property type, credit range, and specific challenges, and many other qualification questions. But here's the key: most mortgage pros stop at the landing page, but we don't. The magic happens when you integrate this with a multi channel nurture sequence. once someone goes through that qualification process, they immediately get plugged into a nurture sequence that touches them across email, SMS, and even ringless voicemails, all automated through your CRM. And I was looking at the number of one of our clients who is a loan officer in San Diego. After implementing this approach, his cost per qualified application dropped by something like 62% in the first 45 days. Insane results. And the reason this works so well is that you're not treating all leads the same. Someone looking to buy in 7 days gets a completely different follow-up sequence than someone who's 6 months out. For example, your hot leads might get an immediate ringless voicemail from you personally, followed up by a text 10 minutes later, and then an email with specific next steps. While your longer term prospects get more educational content to nurture them until they are ready. And what's crazy is few mortgage pros are doing this comprehensive approach, while most are still running basic Facebook ads to generic landing pages and then following up manually when they get around it. This integrated approach is just on another level. The best part here is once you set it up, it's pretty much automated. Your CRM is working 24/7 to nurture these leads based on where they are in the buying journey. So this strategy is working the best in the market right now when done in the right way from right expertise, and it can surely for sure add a direct ROI to your business and can scale your mortgage business to the next level, of course. So yeah, there you have it. Six lead generation strategies that most loan officers and mortgage brokers are completely overlooking in 2025. Just to recap, first one was hyperlocal video SEO. Second, realtor partnership pods. Third, retargeting with high intent data. Fourth, voice search optimization. Fifth, community driven workshops. And the last one, personal favorite, integrated qualification funnels. Now look, will implementing these strategies take some work? Yes, absolutely it will. But that's kind of the point. Most loan officers and mortgage brokers aren't willing to put in the extra effort, which means there is a huge opportunity for those who are willing to put the effort. So, yes, if you're willing to put in the extra effort, and if you're willing to scale your mortgage business to the next level, and if you're willing to close more loans, then schedule a strategic call with us by clicking on the link down below in the description and just start your journey of closing more loans with us. Till then, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Take care.